Well, good afternoon. It's Sunday, March the 5th, and we've been to church this morning, 10 o'clock service at Mountaintop Ministries. Fantastic message. Listen to the shepherd's voice. Listen to the shepherd's voice, because you don't want to die. We're going into the Word. The King James Bible, the book of Mark, chapter 9, verses 30 to 50. We're going to finish off chapter 9. And they departed thence, passed through Galilee, and he would not that any man should know it. For he taught his disciples and said unto them, The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of men, and they shall kill him. And after that he is killed, he shall rise the third day. But they understood not that saying, and were afraid to ask him. And he came to Capernaum, and being in the house, he asked them, What was it that you disputed among yourselves by the way? But they held their peace, for by the way they had disputed among themselves who should be the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12, and saith unto them, If any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all, and servant of all. And he took a child and set him in the midst of them. And when he had taken him into his arms, he said unto them, Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me receiveth not me, but him that sent me. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us, and we forbade him, because he followeth not us. But Jesus said, Forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me. For he that is not against us is on our part. For whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because you belong to Christ, verily I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were cast into the sea. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed, than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter halt into life, than having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched, where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of God with one eye, than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire, where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Salt is good, but if the salt hath lost its saltiness, wherewith will you season it? Have salt in yourselves, and have peace one with another. Jesus is telling them in no uncertain terms that we're going to end up in one of 2 places. We're either going to end up in heaven with him, or we're going to end up in the eternal fire. And it's funny because we were watching a sermon on TV last night, and it was about how some people believe that when they die, if they don't go to heaven, they just cease to exist. They find that kind of convenient. It's kind of like a let-out clause. It sort of absolves them of responsibility. Well, you know, if I don't go to heaven, I'm just going to cease to exist. I can live with that. And the pastor said, to be quite honest, he said, if that was true, I could live with that too. He says, because I know that there are members of my family, and he's talking about his own family, that have not been saved. And he said, in spite of everything I've done, and he's quite a prolific pastor. He said, so if it was true that they would just cease to exist, he said, I could live with that if that was true. But it's not true. We will live for eternity. It's just a question of location. The eternal fire and the pain of hell, or the Shekinah glory of God. You make your choice here on earth. You don't make it afterwards. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to wait till the last minute, because you may not have that choice. As Shane gave his testimony in church today, a year ago he had his accident. And on the anniversary of that accident, where his oil truck turned over and yet his life was spared, he says, I don't know how, but my life was spared. God saved me. On the very same anniversary, another truck driver crashed his oil tanker and perished. We don't know how quickly death may come to us. So to say you're going to leave it to the last minute and then make your decision, that might not be possible. Make your decision now. The eternal flame, the burning fires that is not quenched, and the worm dieth not, Jesus' own words, or the Shekinah glory of God to be with him forever. That's your choice. There is no other choice. You can kid yourself. You can kid yourself and say, you know what, I don't believe you. My friend, you're playing Russian roulette with your life. And if you're sitting on the fence and you haven't quite committed yet, as Pastor Ken talked about today, you need a revival in your life. You're halfway there, but you haven't fully committed. You say you're a Christian, but you can't forsake the things of life, of the flesh, things of the flesh that drag you down, that pull you into sin. You're trying to play both cards at the same time. You can't do that. You have to make your mind up. And you can't sit on the fence forever. The devil owns the fence. A commitment to Jesus is all or nothing. All or nothing. Put it all in. Everything you've got, put it all in. Do it now. Do it now. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We're told not even to worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry for itself. Believe in Jesus today, for he has overcome the world. His yoke is easy. His burden is light. Can you say that your burden is light in life without Jesus? Can you say that you face all the trials and tribulations, the sicknesses, the pain, without Jesus, and you're doing okay? You wake up on the good side of life with a smile on your face and a thankful heart? I don't think you can. I don't think you truly can. I think you can put on a mask. I think you can say the words, you can pay lip service, but in your heart, that's where it counts. That's where Jesus sees. That's where he is. Let him in. Let him in, my friends. Let him in. For those of you that have let him in, you know what I'm talking about. You know how good it feels to feel the love of God in your heart, because he does love you, and I love you too. Thank you for listening. Oh, and by the way, today's the last day. Pastor Ron has asked me to name this Bible reading that I do. I don't know. I can't come up with anything. I've prayed. I can't come up with anything. He needs a name for it because they're doing something with Facebook and the church and stuff, and he wants to be able to name this thing that I do every morning. So please, come up with a name. Make a suggestion. Everyone, please. Just make a suggestion. See what happens. I'm hoping to call him today, the end of the day, and tell him I've got a name or I haven't got a name, and I'm just trusting the Lord that he'll come up with a name. So, if you can, think of something, and have a great day. Love you all. Bye for now.